We have an app of the week. We have, of course, Kevin Epstein, VP of Marketing at CloudShare. Are you still with us, Kevin?
I still am.
There you are.
Music Sting, I love it. I should get that in the room.
All kinds of great stuff on This Week in Cloud Computing. Come on. So we've got CloudShare on, and it's a service for demoing software in the cloud. So I'd actually said to Kevin before the show, shouldn't we use CloudShare to
demo CloudShare?
You know, CloudShare, but then it's a demo within a anyway.
Right.
So
a bit meta.
Yeah, a bit meta. But we like things that are meta. So anyway, I am going to pull up our demo here, but while we do that, I want to throw in some details here on Kevin. So prior to CloudShare, Kevin had similar roles at Scalent Corp and VMware, who also happens to be a CloudShare client now.
That's always a good sign.
That's a good sign. So back in December, the company launched to the public and announced it had raised an additional $10 million in Series B financing.
From Sequoia.
From Sequoia, Gemini Capital, and Charles River Ventures. So I believe the total funding is $16 million. Is that right, Kevin?
That is correct.
Great. And funds are being used to accelerate product development, I've been told.
And product development? Of course, marketing. We want our share.
Of course, marketing. So the platform's integrated with Salesforce.com CRM. You'll be happy to know, Suster.
Nice.
So, and I believe, Kevin, didn't you also go on record at one point saying that you're a huge fan of Salesforce.com or something like that?
I might have said that.
I believe you did. I did my research.
There are idols. Salesforce and Salesforce, VMware, and WebEx. Combine the three of them, and you've got CloudShare. So.
All right, I am just pulling up our demo site here. Why don't you go into a little bit of a background right now before we get started? Oh, you call them your heroes, actually. You said Salesforce.com and Citrix were your heroes. That's what I found.
Salesforce.com and WebEx.
Oh, and WebEx.
Just to make life a little different, or GoToMeeting. Choose your PowerPoint showing solution of your choice.
All right, so I have to hear about this. Why do you, as CloudShare, admire these companies and want to emulate them? What specifically about them?
So I'll pick Salesforce from the pricing and ease of use standpoint. And Salesforce took what everyone else would have called a bunch of hosted databases and said, you know what, people, it's not about the hosting, it's about the application on top of them. And we're going to give you an application in the cloud. And before cloud was cloud, right? You had Salesforce. Back when it was SaaS, not infrastructure as a service. And Salesforce said, we won't nickel and dime you to death. We won't charge you per lead. We won't charge you per CPU or per bandwidth. It's per seat model. Sign up. We'll charge you a flat fee per seat. And you'll use this wonderful analytic application, that happens to be on a bunch of very cool hosted databases that we put in our own private cloud.
Right.
Love that model. And same thing as CloudShare. Fixed price, no nickel and diming you to death, a per seat model. Everything's included in that per seat, and oh yes, do we run a private compute cloud underneath it? Yes, of course, but that's not the focus. The focus is the application, this ability to very quickly upload and hand out virtual machines, or sets of virtual machines. And to that point, there's the WebEx analogy, which is, again, potentially revealing my age. I remember when doing a webinar was not as simple as sort of what we're doing right here. Used to require a dedicated camera crew coming in, a dedicated encoder box. Anyone else remember this, or am I showing my gray?
I remember it.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I see your gray.
And WebEx came along and said, you know what? Let's build something really simple. I was at Real Networks at the time, and we made fun of them because, after all, we did streaming media software. What's this bunch of jokers doing? It's just a web page in front of a bunch of streaming media, and I missed it completely. WebEx was about making it super easy for anyone to point, click, upload a PowerPoint, and share it with other people in a controlled way. So you could always yank back your PowerPoint, and you could have analytics on who saw it and how many times they watched your webinar and all that. So CloudShare said, well, gosh, this whole cloud thing, what if you could make it as easy as WebEx with PowerPoint to do that with IT infrastructure? So what if literally I have my 6 servers here and I want to do a Star Trek moment and say, Mark, Amanda, I want to teleport a copy of my 6 servers over to your place so that you folks can run your data through them and try out the software I've installed. Why shouldn't that be as easy as WebEx? After all, we have
like
bandwidth.
that.
We have cloud, we have bandwidth. What's so darn hard about getting IT into the cloud that companies like Amazon will charge you $100 per virtual machine that you have to FedEx to them on a hard drive to get it into their cloud?
Right.
Fair point.
That's true.
And it's just and to pick on my alma mater VMware slightly, at the time that I left, and they have improved, not a current fault, but many years past, leader in virtualization. When we shared virtual machines with our different sales engineers, we did it by burning them to a hard drive and FedExing them.
Wow.
Yeah. Leader in virtualization is using FedEx as their primary transport mechanism.
It's like going to AOL not being able to get online.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're still having
Very good
Let
point.
such a thing happen.
Yeah.
Well, this seems to be a boon, obviously, for smaller companies, because enterprises can do this sort of thing. But to be able to have a smaller company give potential customers a software demo in a virtual network environment, you didn't really have that before.
Yep. And I mean, in fact, the irony is that we've ended up with two large customer groups. On the high end, believe it or not, we have Cisco, VMware, SAP, WebSense, Alcatel-Lucent, a couple handfuls of other very, very large companies using CloudShare for the analytics on the back end, because they want to know where their demos are going, where their Salesforce is introduced to people. They want to support their channel. And frankly, they're starting to use it just for straight outsourced IT for non-essential functions. On the flip side, to your point, we have literally thousands of users using CloudShare Pro, which is the free application. Not so many analytics, but just as simple a front end to get into the cloud. We restrict you to 6 servers or personal computers. But we've got several thousand individual and small businesses using that because, again, to your point, whether it's an IT application where, gosh, there's someone in a remote office and I just don't feel like going out there and setting up servers for them, or a simple test situation where I'm a reseller, I'd love to show you the latest Microsoft Office SharePoint, but I really don't want to waste half a day coming out and trying to set it up on your site. CloudShare is a great app. And we internally like to say that CloudShare lets IT people go back to their real value-added job as being IT people versus what we become, which is cable monkeys.
Sure.
No one wants to be a cable monkey.
Fair enough. So you're essentially offering sales execs a free IT lab right now. How long are you going to offer the free version?
So we're not Google. We can't do it for 10 years, but we are committing to our customers that there will always be some variant of a free version.
Sure.
We do want to introduce some sort of pricing around the low end as well as the high end, but we see no reason in the immediate future to pursue that aggressively. We're happy to have people using the free version because it's kind of like the early days of virtualization where you try and explain what is a virtual machine and people kind of look at you sideways and say, Java? We try and explain, well, it's kind of like infrastructure as a service, only it's more like IT as a service because you move in everything at the same time, including the operating system, and it only takes 5 minutes, and people's eyes start crossing. And it's much simpler to just say, look, go to cloudshare.com/pro. It's free. Try it. 5 minutes later, you'll get it. And people do.
Excellent. Well, do you want to give us a quick demo, or should I just pull up the site here? What would you like to do?
I'm happy to do a demo. What's the easiest way?
We're waiting for the organizer to join. So we're in GoToMeeting right now. And if we can do it that way, otherwise we can just pull up the site over here and take a quick peek.
I will use GoToMeeting because, as you pointed out, it's a lot easier to demonstrate something within another window versus using some sort of recursive window within a window. To your point, one of the nice things about CloudShare is not only can I hand out the servers, but to use my earlier analogy about teleporting a rack, it's like teleporting a rack with a video camera attached. So the good news is that we can not only share servers, but we can screen share within those servers. So I can hand you a copy, I can hand Mark a copy, I can keep a copy, and if any of you run into trouble, I can go peek in on what you're doing and help you out.
Mm-hmm.
So here's CloudShare Pro.
Okay.
We're going to look at the, actually, you know what, I'll go to
your screen, Amanda.
Yeah, I'm waiting for, we need your screen to come up. I believe this is where it says waiting to view Kevin's screen.
Yep, I see Amanda there, and let's see if we can actually persuade this to start.
Technical difficulties, always awesome.
Yeah, you know, and the good news or bad news is this one is not on CloudShare's end. This is a classic.
Well, you want to do this? You want me to do the
glitch? Yeah.
We could do the commercial, and then we can while you guys
Sure.
try to get this going.
Why don't you work that out, Kevin? And in between, we are hearing something here in the studio.
Going to storm. We're fearing a storm. I fear I'm hearing it.
Chilly and stormy in here.
That's right. Get your little guy going, Mark. Come on, it's part of the shtick. There we go. Awesome. My guy kills yours. Anyway, Storm on Demand. Storm on Demand. It's an infrastructure as a service cloud computing platform that is powerful enough to replace dedicated servers, but still not my iPad. Maybe my iPad. It is easier to use and less expensive than Amazon EC2. It's a proprietary cloud platform designed by Liquid Web, one of the largest web hosting providers with over 12 years of experience. Features include server setup in minutes, easy scaling, cool little guys with giant biceps, easy scaling, backup and restoration, pay-as-you-go utility-style billing. Options include cPanel, Fantastico, Amanda working the little guy in front of my head. I don't know what she's doing, but I'm scared. Ubuntu, Debian, CentOS, fully managed servers, private networking, and much more. Storm on Demand, stormondemand.com. Please thank @Storm on Demand. Thank you. And yes.
Okay.
How are we doing?
Well, we are loaded up. Kevin, is your screen ready yet?
Yep, and I'm going to try and hit go on this, and let's see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Restarted the GoToMeeting, and you know what? I hate to say it, I should be using WebEx. Because the GoToMeeting is refusing to show, but you know what? I don't know if you folks, do you have the Skype video up? I can try sharing screen via Skype video.
That probably won't work with our setup, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Yeah,
well, you know what?
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
There
We can see it. Never mind. I'm wrong.
Wow. So you know, talk about recursive. Hopefully what you're going to see now, let's see.
There we go. Perfect.
Is CloudShare Pro. So let me actually show you how easy it is. Let me start by logging in. To sign up on our site, we just require the classic email and password. And I'm going to, in live time, and I hope you folks are seeing this.
Yeah, we can see it fine.
No, let's create a new server environment. So this is exactly what you'd see coming in. I click Create a New Environment, and look, there are a bunch of servers. I'm going to show off Office 2007 Pro. Let's, you'll notice we've got Windows 7. Why not? Let's pick some Windows 7. We could do SharePoint or Active Directory. Again, super simple. We have Linux as well as Windows, obviously. I could use the fast upload button and in 15 minutes upload machines that were local on my desktop. I'm going to skip that. I can type in descriptions, continue, finish, and run. And we're actually going to use a Julia Child moment here because this environment creation probably will take 2 minutes. And so in the interest of sparing our audience, we'll go to one that's already running. But here we have a bunch of machines. And if I choose View Machine, as you can see, just logs in. And I could do this full screen. I could do this, so it occupied my entire desktop.
Wow.
But here I am, welcome to, let's see, XP Professional with Office 2010. I now have my own computer in the cloud.
That fast.
By the way, that computer in the cloud, not only does it have its own local storage in the cloud, but I can connect it to my local desktop here on the computer that I've logged in from. This is a little recursive here, to your point, getting a little meta. But what you're seeing now is we're screen sharing. I'm logged in on my physical computer locally. It could be an iPad. It happens to be an XP machine. I'm using Windows XP. In my window, I see another Windows XP machine in the cloud.
That's cool.
And in it, I've logged into my local disk on my local machine, and I can drag and drop files into the machine in the cloud.
Wow.
Did I do that fast enough?
Wow. Well, you got a lot of that's cools over here. I believe I heard them in the studio. From
hey, let's try Microsoft Word 2010. Whoop, I haven't licensed it. Uh-oh. Here we go. So I am, and woo.
Hello, hello.
And you can see how easy this is.
Yeah, it just seems like there wouldn't be much of a learning curve at all.
Because this is our point. When those of us who are involved in CloudShare heard the word cloud, we all had this vision of, wow, that'd be so great. There are these machines out there, and you can just use them as an extension of your machine here. Wow. And then we all tried signing on to the various cloud providers and listened to the ads and bought into the hype. And it turned out it always took us hours to days to weeks to kind of get machines there and get our accounts, and that was bad.
I can see why.
So, we built it again. WebEx and Salesforce.com are our heroes. Let's build it as a service. Let's make it all-inclusive, like Salesforce.com. So when we charge enterprises for this, we just charge per seat, per user. Okay. That includes all the virtual machines, all the bandwidth, all the operating system licenses, all the ancillary applications like SQL Server, everything. And then let's make it that simple for the enterprise IT people who tend to be a little bit of a control freak. Let's put a back end on it that looks like this. So here's your very Salesforce-looking back end where I can track who's doing what with the system. And, as the evil controller, I can stop people from doing things. I'm not going to do that. And on the front end, as we demonstrated, I'll go back to where we set it up, see how long that took. There's the original environment I started.
Wow.
It's that fast and that simple. Oh, and there's another kind of cute aspect to this, which is if I get out of the environment back into the home page, again, we built this originally as a way of doing sales demos, although it's now being used more and more by training groups, by IT groups. So if you guys like this environment, oh, look, here's the little 3-machine environment. Let's give Amanda Coolong a copy. Amanda, what's your email?
Amanda@thisweekend.com.
So I'm going to send you an invitation.
And everyone, I will let you know how that goes.
Yep. Viral time.
Or you can find out directly if you email Amanda@thisweekend.com.
So, Amanda, you just got your own copy of these 3 machines.
Excellent.
And you click on the link that you'll have in your email. You'll have these 3. They're all full functioning machines. It's all free. And I right now have a tether. So I can see what you're doing when you choose to use the machines. No surfing that site. If you choose, and again, I've set permissions so that you can cut that tether. When you log in, there'll be a button over here on the upper right that says Take Ownership. And you can snip that tether, and then you've got your own environment that you can make changes to and go send to other people.
Perfect. Well, Kevin, I need to wrap you up here. But great demo. I mean, if anyone wants to check it out, go look at cloudshare.com.
Yeah,
fantastic
demo.
That was really great. I mean, any final thoughts, Mark?
I think
Suster?
I think it's very cool. I love the idea of being able to share instances of compute resource in the cloud. I need to go through my head and think of all the use cases, but the idea that you could log on there and use applications that you don't have natively on your computer is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And again, our goal was to make this to the start of the show, guys, when we started talking about Google and collaboration. Let's make it as collaborative as Google, but let's make it as familiar as your own local Macintosh or PC.